To Baba Fairy Tales and Bedtime Stories for Kids, Little Red Riding Hood. In the forest, there lived a little girl and her mother. Whenever the little girl left the house, she wore the red hooded cape her grandmother had knitted for her. This is why everyone used to call her Little Red Riding Hood. One New Year's Day, in the kitchen, whilst her mother was preparing for the evening, Little Red Riding Hood approached her mother.
Mother, I'm so happy. It's the new year. Will Grandmother be joining us tonight?
Grandma is ill, darling. Don't think she'll make it tonight. I was just making her some New Year's cookies.
May I take the cookies to my grandmother?
No, my darling. It's too cold. You stay home. I'll go and come back. And I will brew her some herbs so that she gets better as soon as possible.
Please, Mother, please. You have a lot to do here. I'll go and come back before you know it.
Okay, but dress warm, please. The Little Red Riding Hood wore her boots and red cape. She grabbed the basket her mother had prepared and left home. Do not leave the forest's path, and please be home before dark.
Okay, Mother.
It sure was cold out there. The whole forest was covered in snow. The Little Red Riding Hood was walking in the forest with joy. Deep in the forest lived a young hunter. He was after a wolf that would enter the homes of the villagers and steal their food.
I never thought I would be spending New Year's Eve all by myself. But today I will catch you, mighty bad wolf.
Okay?
I will catch you, mighty bad wolf. And because of this, everyone will enter the new year much happier.
Having put all the villagers in fear, the wolf was out in the forest for his prey.
I hate snowy days. Can't find anything to eat.
Meanwhile, Little Red Riding Hood was on her way. She noticed a baby gazelle in the woods. Poor gazelle was shivering from the cold.
Poor baby gazelle. How cold you look.
Little Red Riding Hood wanted to approach the gazelle and help out. But once the gazelle noticed her, it ran away.
Hey, stop. Don't run away. I'm not going to hurt you. I only want to help.
Little Red Riding Hood followed the gazelle into the forest. Even with its very slim figure, it was so fast. All of a sudden, it disappeared. Little Red Riding Hood continued going after the gazelle for some time, but then thought it was impossible to find it. She had a look around and noticed she was now far from the forest. She was somewhere she had never been before. The snow made it impossible for her to know where she was. She thought by following her footprints she could find her path. She followed the path, but in time the snow covered her trace. Right at that moment, Little Red Riding Hood felt helpless and began to cry.
What will I do now? Hello? Help! Help! Can anybody hear me? Hello?
Somebody heard her all right, but it was no one other than the evil-hearted wolf.
Hello? Is there anybody out there?
The wolf went towards the voice he heard, and soon after saw Little Red Riding Hood. Without scaring her, he approached her. Seeing the wolf in front of her eyes, she was very scared and began to scream.
Help! The wolf is here! Help! Somebody help!
Psst! Don't yell. Don't yell. I'm not going to hurt you. I heard you calling out and I came to help.
Little Red Riding Hood thought that he meant no harm, so she stopped yelling.
Now tell me, what's a girl like you doing in the forest on her own?
I was taking cookies to my ill grandmother, but now I'm lost.
Oh, no human has ever lived here. And where does your ill grandmother live?
Little Red Riding Hood did not want to tell him where her grandmother lived, because she still had her doubts about the wolf.
I can't find grandmother's house from here. If you take me back to the forest path, I could find it there.
Okay, well, come on, follow me.
In the end, the wolf walked and Little Red Riding Hood followed him towards the forest. But the evil wolf had a mighty plan waiting for her.
Once we arrive at the forest path, this little girl will show me where her grandmother lives. That way, I can first eat her, then I can go and eat her grandmother. Now that's what I call a New